begin the session. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Hubble Hawks presents a webinar on Teacher Once, Learner Forever, Reimagining Professional Development for Early Years Educators. I am Ms. Prachi Sharma, Senior Manager, Foundational Years at the VIBGYOR Group of Schools, your host for today's session. Allow me to introduce our guest speaker. We all know every school needs a leader who dreams beyond the present and pave the way for tomorrow. And Ms. Aanchal Vasandani, Senior VP, Foundational Years at the VIBGYOR Group of Schools, is one such eminent leader. With her remarkable expertise in early years pedagogy and innovative approaches to foundational learning, she has made a lasting impact on the landscape of early childhood education. Today, she joins us as a lifelong learner, ready to share insights that reflect her belief that we are teachers once, but learners forever. A warm welcome to you, Ms. Aanchal.
Thank you, Prachi. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here with you today, speaking on a theme that resonates deeply with each one of us. Teacher once, learner forever. In this world of early childhood care and education, this isn't just a catchy phrase. It is a mindset, it is a movement, and above all, it is a necessity. Today, we are here to reimagine what professional development truly means for educators working in foundational years, especially in India, as we need to meet the urgent goals of our national education documents, that is National Education Policy 2020 and National Curriculum Framework 2022. Before we start, we aim to make this session very interactive. So there will be certain questions we will pose, and we urge you to put your responses in the chat box. So here we go. We start with the first question. As early childhood educators, we have implemented various pedagogies and approaches in our classrooms. I'd like you to share some of these in the chat box.
So we'll be waiting for the responses. We have a couple of responses here, Ms. Aanchal, where they say that they have used playway methodology, child-based methodology, pedagogy, and different types of amalgamations of pedagogies like Montessori and so on and so forth.
Great. So that sets our context. Now, before we move ahead, Prachi, can you play a video? This is a video of an early childhood classroom in New Zealand. In New Zealand, an early childhood educator is called Kayako. So let's watch this video.
Hand, and I'll use the other hand. Delicious. You can see if you can take apart this oven. Just tell me if you need some help at any point. Oh, Harriet's going up to the secret garden. Shall we go with it?
Yeah.
I'll pop you down so you can walk, eh?
I have my gumboots.
You want your gumboots? Kia ora, I'm Max Christie, and I'm a
You'll need to share it again. It stopped playing.
And I'll use the other hand. Delicious. You can see if you can take apart this oven. Just tell me if you need some help at any point. Oh, Harriet's going up to the secret garden. Shall we go with it?
Yeah.
I'll pop you down so you can walk, eh?
I have my gumboots.
You want your gumboots? Kia ora, I'm Max Christie, and I'm an early childhood kaiako at Northland Child Space. So kaiako's role is as an educator, but also as a learner. That just means basically taking a step back quite a lot and learning from children and what they're doing, rather than dictating to them what they're to learn. We like to respond to what they're interested in, yeah. The role is very varied. There are a lot of different skillful tasks you need to do, but we feel like it's almost all about relationships you have with children and with families and your fellow kaiako. The stronger your relationships are, the more success you'll have in early childhood. Planning for children's learning is definitely a collaborative process. I have regular meetings with my team, and that keeps us aware of children's needs, aware of families' needs, and aware of our team and how they're feeling. We feel like free play is an incredibly important part of education and children developing their own sense of self and their own independence. So a lot of my job is about observation and just looking for what children need and at what time they need it. A lot of it's to do with mediating conversations between children, making sure that they're using words to communicate their ideas and their problems with each other so that they don't revert to using their bodies to solve problems. Do you want some help to ask him? I'll walk with you, but can you talk to him? Are you sure? I think you can, because you're talking to me. It's a very important time of their lives to influence and to make sure that we all grow up to be positively contributing members of our society. Basically, that involves just teaching and learning alongside them skills and also values such as empathy and aroha and manakitanga, just to be a good human being. That's really our focus. It's not on academic learning or rote learning or listening to me, the teacher. It's really about them exploring their own selves, their own friendships, and in that way we encourage children to be independent learners.
It was a lovely video. So, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you think of a foundational stage educator after watching this video? Please put your responses in the chat box. What do you think this educator was doing throughout his day of teaching?
And put your responses in the chat box. Ms. Lakshmi says learning aligning with the teaching.
Different roles that this educator played.
Yeah, so she says that acting as a friend, playing the role of an initiator, showing the empathy. Ms. Smita says establishment of bond with children.
What we just saw reflects the heartbeat of every early years classroom. I think we all have to play these multiple roles what this educator was playing. He was caring, noticing, encouraging, listening, resolving conflicts, at the same time trying to build values in the children, making them good human beings. This is exactly what each one of us as early childhood educators need to do. We need to play different roles, wear different hats throughout the day. And the way he used those invisible moments, like his gentle nod, the pause to listen, the adjustment of his tone, all these are the very essence that shapes a child's lifelong love for learning. So now this brings us to the central point for today's discussion, why CPD matters. So let us reflect upon these questions. Are we equipping educators with strategies that honor their multiple roles, that is teacher, caregiver, mentor, guide? Are we creating CPD experiences that empower teachers to feel confident and supported rather than stressed and overwhelmed? Are we ensuring that such opportunities reach educators across contexts, rural and urban areas, resource-rich and resource-lean, so that every child benefits? When we place teachers at the center of this conversation, CPD will stop being a checkbox exercise. Rather, it will become a true lever of transformation. Now, let us take a moment and see what data is revealing. Prachi, can you show the data? As you can see in this graph, there is a clear upward trend in participation in the early years for CPD post 2020. So in 2020, when the National Education Policy was released, we've noticed there is a noticeable upward trend in the number of educators that have enrolled for CPD, as well as a number of sessions offered. But however, what stands out, there is a gradual shift from one-time programs for workshops towards modular continuous professional development programs. Thus, this is indicating now people have become aware that we need to have value-based programs rather than quick fixes. I want you again to pause and reflect on your CPD journeys so far. So please put in the chat box how many such professional development courses you all have enrolled for till date.
We have got varied responses, Aanchal.
Yeah.
So the number varies from 2 to 3 to 5.
Okay. So whether your number was 0 or +5, the reflection is not about how much we have done so far. It is about what we still need. Because every powerful CPD does not just change a teacher, it changes a child's tomorrow. We are brain builders. We are affecting the child's mind and brain every moment that we are with them in the classroom. Therefore, we need to ensure that CPD is no longer a luxury, but it becomes a necessity.
So that was indeed an insight, Aanchal. The gradual shift in demand and supply of CPD programs from one-time workshops to ongoing curated programs is truly noteworthy. I would now like to ask you a couple of questions that will give us more clarity on meaningful CPD programs. Let's begin our fireside chat. So let's start with this question. Let us start by grounding ourselves in the big picture. Why does NEP place so much emphasis on the foundational stage?
This is because, as per neuroscience research, which is also referenced in our policy document, it confirms that over 85% of the brain development happens between the age of 0 to 6. It is during this time that all the base for our future learning happens. Our cognitive development, emotional development, social development, language development, all these happen during this time. And if quality early education is not provided during this period, this will lead to significant learning gaps, which will go on right throughout their schooling. And neglecting this stage often leads to remedial interventions in the later grades. So let us see some of these excerpts that you've flashed on the screen, Prachi. Here, as you can see, NEP 2020 positions this stage, the foundational stage, as a center of gravity of educational reforms. Thus, making investments during this time will yield the highest returns in human capital. Therefore, for all educators in the foundational stage, it is very vital that we equip them with skills for age-appropriate pedagogy that they can use in their classrooms.
That's true, and I'm sure it will resonate with the audience. And I truly believe too that this is the time when we need to develop them holistically rather than developing only the parts of their journey. So let's move ahead, and this brings us to the next question, which says, as per NEP, what should an ideal CPD for a foundational stage teacher include?
The NEP recommends that training cannot be a one-off workshop, nor can it be a uniform template delivered in the same way everywhere. As you know, children's needs are diverse. The context or different classrooms are diverse. Similarly, even the teacher's needs are diverse. So we cannot have one size fits all. So an ideal CPD in India for early childhood educators should be first structured and linked to their teacher progression. CPD should be embedded with a clear career progression path for teachers, and also it should support their teacher growth over a period of time rather than ad hoc sessions. This will ensure that a teacher who is an assistant teacher, when she upgrades her skills, can become into a class teacher, can become into a permanent teacher, and also if she picks up certain leadership courses, she can become a coordinator and gradually a vice principal or a principal. Second, CPD needs to be practical and relevant. It should be such that they can apply easily in the classrooms. If it is based on pedagogies, teachers will be equipped to use play-based pedagogy, experiential learning, activity-based. If it focuses on inclusivity, teachers will know how to handle the needs of differently able children in the classroom.
Yeah.
Third, CPD should be engaging. It should be interactive and hands-on, and it should be reflective, because reflection allows educators to see how their progression is happening, how they are able to apply in the classroom, and whether it is making any difference in the classroom, and again reapply those. CPD also should be continuous and progressive. As I said, it cannot be just a one-time workshop, but an ongoing learning which deepens their understanding of child development. And then they can transition to various roles. The next, CPD should be contextual. It should be aligned with our national documents, NEP 2020 and NCF 2022. These documents also talk about teachers' gradual progression. If they continue with their professional development, it will lead to better appraisal, better salary components. And last but not the least, CPD should be collaborative. There should be peer learning and sharing of information.
Absolutely, absolutely. The point which you have mentioned here, career progression, I'm sure it is with everyone in everyone's mind, because ECC cannot be a one-off workshop, nor can it be a uniform template. Since children have diverse needs, contexts are different, and teachers' needs are also diverse. Let's move to our next question. What does NEP say about teacher professional development?
NEP places a strong emphasis on teacher development, which is a cornerstone of educational reform. It mandates that every teacher needs to undergo 50 hours of continuous professional development annually. CPD is not envisioned only as formal training, but also as peer-led and self-directed learning, which will empower teachers to take ownership of their own growth. That is learner agency. Okay, and view it as an ongoing training rather than a top-down directive, not because my school principal has made it mandate or NCRT has made it a mandate, but teacher needs to take account of her own growth, her own career progression. She needs to be updated with all the latest pedagogies, her subject knowledge, as well as integration of new educational technologies. We saw during lockdown when teachers had to use various digital tools and platforms from their home for teaching, there were many educators who were not up to date with technology. They struggled, and they were the ones who were left behind. And now, since we are early educators, we have Gen Alpha already in our classroom, and soon to follow will be Gen Beta. These children are growing up with AI, AR, VR, and so on. If we as educators do not catch up with these evolving demands of 21st century classrooms, I think we will be left way behind. So that is why it is very important that we continue to train ourselves and keep ourselves updated.
Yeah, sure. Because we are seeing the demand for courses, how we can integrate AI in the classrooms and teach concepts which were not existing earlier. So that is a very good point which you mentioned here, and I'm sure that audience do relate with it. Now, I have another question for you, ma'am. Which professional development areas, as per you, are most important for foundational teachers?
We as heads of schools should create a culture where learning is not imposed but inspired. When we chalk out a clear career path for our teachers, teachers will be inspired to continuously learn and grow. So CPD must now move beyond mandatory checklist. It must offer relevance, agency, and a sense of belonging. So some of the few modules that CPD is recommending, NCF 2020 is recommending are understanding child growth and development, play-based and activity-based learning, inclusive classroom practices, teacher well-being and leadership, foundational literacy and numeracy, formative and adaptive assessment, and also health and nutrition practices. Since we are early childhood care and education teachers, care plays a very important component in our classroom. We need to look after the health and well-being of every child in our classroom. So that also should not be neglected.
That is insightful. Now, this is another question which we are finding it hard to understand. That how can CPD improve learning outcomes in ECCE?
So an empowered teacher or a trained teacher will know how to implement the various pedagogies in the classroom, which I spoke about, the play-based, the activity-based, the child-centric activities, and so on. She will also know how to apply her training and create design engaging spaces in the classroom where each child can be well engaged and make it inquiry based for the child to discover and learn. She will also create age appropriate play based learning experience for the children. All this is emphasized by NCF 2022 for foundational years. Therefore, CPD will also help foster the teacher's morale and job satisfaction, and eventually this will reduce teacher turnover and ensure stability for the learners in the classroom.
So I have seen in the classrooms when the learning outcomes are achieved and children are able to absorb the concept taught, then there is a different happiness on the teacher's face, and we can see that the learning outcomes are being achieved in a true way. So let's move.
Eventually, happy teachers will lead to happy children.
True. So now this is another question which is burning nowadays. What are some NEP aligned CPD models in India, the ones which are validated and should be included as an impactful program?
Some of the models are, NEP talks about peer learning communities. So here the teachers can learn from each other, they can share best practices and solve problems collaboratively. The next one is blended learning platforms. This is a mix of face-to-face as well as online learning. Okay, this will make CPD flexible, accessible for everyone in different contexts, whether rural, urban areas, everywhere, all across. The next one is modular short courses. Here, the teachers can develop specific skills without taking long breaks from the classrooms. And the last one that NEP recommends is mentorship programs, very important, where experienced teachers can mentor the new teachers and help them to grow. So these are the few models that NEP has recommended for CPD.
So an ideal CPD program should have the option of all these programs, so that it is easier for the participants to attend and be a part of those CPD programs from wherever they are. Now we are towards the end of the presentation, but this question is something which I insist that you must answer and talk about. Why CPD matters now more than ever?
So CPD matters now more than ever because NEP 2020 has recognized that ECCE is the very foundation for lifelong learning. As I just said, that it cannot be one-time courses that we take up. Teachers need to upgrade themselves continuously and become lifelong learners. The next is empowered educators. When educators are empowered with all the latest pedagogies, all the technological advancements, as well as their subject knowledge, they are empowered, and they will then empower their classrooms, and then eventually children get empowered. Then the next one is, now we've realized that continuous professional development is no longer a luxury. It is essential for quality and equity, because it will result in long-term benefits for our country, for the children, and for our future learners, future leaders. And the last but not the least, the professional identity of ECC educators is evolving. We are no longer only caregivers, we are also brain builders and curriculum thinkers. Since we are the ones who are laying the strong foundations for our children, for their future learning, it is very, very important, it is imperative that we continuously learn and do not give up on learning.
So here we come to our CTA slide.
These are some of the final takeaways and call to action for our audience. CPD is not an event, it is a mindset. It should be aligned with NEP 2020 and NCF 2022 vision for foundational learning. Every educator can grow in competency, confidence, and care. Make CPD your personal and professional habit. Together, we shape the future of our youngest learners. So again, time for some reflection.
So here we would like to ask you 2 questions, and we would be happy if you can put your responses in the chat box. Do you prefer a CPD program that is online or in person, and why? So give us your responses, and this can be based on your previous experiences or what you aspire for. Give a minute to the audience.
Yeah.
There have been mixed responses so far. Some people are saying, I prefer online in the comfort of my home. And some responses are, in person always, it becomes more interactive and a lot of learning happens. It means that the different formats which Ms. Aanchal talked about, where it can be a peer learning community or a modular short course. So all these things are important for making a CPD program successful. There's one more reason Ms. Lakshmi is saying that physically also when are involved, our body responses are better and we accept the learning in a better way.
Maybe
Thank
more
you so much.
experiential learning can happen at that time.
Yes, yes. Then Ms. Smita says it should be blended, online plus offline. So these are the real-time responses. Now I have another question for the audience. What would your ideal CPD program include? So that is, which is one such module or a course which you would want a CPD program to have, which will help you develop holistically? Please put your responses in the chat box. So seems like classroom management and classroom effectiveness tops the chart, and management with the special learners or specially abled kids. So that is one topic which people would want to include as part of their aspirational CPD program. Great. So Okay, it should include better time management and stress management. Yes, so emotional
Certainly.
well-being is, emotional well-being, social-emotional learning is one of our developmental domain, and we should not leave the teachers behind. And that is one area which we can always look at. Innovative technique of teaching, resources for improving pedagogy knowledge. Yes, Ms. Aanchal talked about how to integrate AI and different technology in the classrooms. So that actually proves the point that we do need such kind of programs. This brings us to an end of the session. And with this session, with this presentation and interactive session with Ms. Aanchal, let us pledge today to honor our learning journeys and to lift each other higher along the way and ensure that whichever CPD program we take or we aspire to take, it lasts and it also makes an impact in our teaching practices and also stays with us.
Finally, educators, remember that we are not just shaping young minds, but we shaping the future of our nation. So as Prachi said, let's pledge and be continuous lifelong learners. Thank you.
Thank you, Aanchal, for an inspirational session. As we conclude, let us commit to make CPD not just a policy, but a purposeful practice that transforms classrooms. Let me introduce our second guest. We have with us Ms. Shweta Dhulakia, Head of Quality Assurance at Hubble Hawks. Let us now understand different teacher development initiatives which are being launched by Hubble Hawks. Shweta, I think you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are indeed. I've stopped my screen share so you can share yours.
Well, once again, thank you so much, Prachi and Aanchal. To begin with, Aanchal, it was a really insightful session. Continuous professional development has been spoken of very often, and the need to re-emphasize it, it's never enough. A couple of key learnings that I could take away from what you spoke of is the more the teacher learns, the better she makes her classrooms, the better engaging, interactive, meaningful learning experiences she will be able to develop in her classroom, make learning engaging for the children, and ultimately make the future of our children more happy and brighter. So thank you so much, Aanchal. With that thought in mind, so we've spoken about continuous professional development. With that thought in mind, Hubble Hawks has envisioned to provide these continuous professional development opportunities to all aspiring learners and aspiring teachers like all of you. The difference being, Hubble Hawks envisions to harness the power of technology to be able to provide a platform for these learning opportunities. There is an avenue that provides all of you all to become certified educators or take continuous development, teaching development opportunities and learn as you continue to pursue your journey as a teacher. So let me take a moment to walk you through all our teacher development initiatives that are currently going on. The vision that I just spoke to you all about is, and even Aanchal has emphasized this in her session, is that our classrooms need to be made meaningful. And the better the teacher, the better learning experiences for the children. However, what the reality is that there is a huge gap in the professional development. There's a huge gap in teacher skills and abilities. That's one of the challenges that we are facing in our education system today. Taking cognizance of this challenge, we have seen that there are outdated training modules, training delivery is fragmented, there aren't enough opportunities, hands-on learning experiences provided for the learners. Neither there is, or there is limited evaluation methodology or assessment of the learners that are taking place. Keeping this challenge in mind, there are several such teacher development initiatives as well as continuous professional development initiatives that Hubble Hawks has undertaken. What we aim to do, and this is our vision, is to provide a holistic approach to teacher empowerment. Childhood educators need to be given an opportunity to go through competency-based programs that are NEP focused, NEP 2020, and NCF focused. This will provide them an opportunity for contextual and experiential learning. Are the modules designed to give them classroom experiences? Are the learning design experiences will give them hands-on opportunities? Second, digital integration and accessibility. Digital tools will allow the learners to access anytime, anywhere at their own pace. A lot of you participants here have spoken about blended approach. Aanchal also emphasized about the blended learning methodology. This makes learning accessible to all. Hence, integration of digital tools, having platforms, makes it easier for the learners to upskill themselves, gain the knowledge, skills, and abilities anytime, anywhere they want. And lastly, that is obviously and will always be our end goal, is our end career pathway. As we continuously learn, learners are continuously assessed, given feedback, ongoing on-the-job training, as well as continuous assessments taken, where they will understand where they lie and how they need to improve and progress upon themselves. Also giving them an opportunity to be able to, this feedback will be give them an opportunity to be able to understand where they need to professionally grow themselves. Our very first teacher training, teacher program initiative is our partnership with Chetna SNDT Women's University. Like all of you all know, SNDT Women's University is a state university, and Hubble Hawks is the first to partner with SNDT Women's University for its affiliation of the foundational level courses. In partnership with SNDT University, we have curated a bouquet of programs, certificate courses that are specifically designed to teach and equip learners aspiring to become ECCE teachers, focused on foundational level, NEP foundational level, equipping them to teach up to grade 2. These 9 curated courses are, again, from all that all you teachers also have mentioned. Necessary knowledge and skills, understanding the child, what to teach in the classroom, curriculum studies, how to teach, pedagogical studies, understanding the roots and evolution of education in philosophical and theoretical perspectives. How do I assess my child? Am I teaching in the right way? Safety and security, that was also spoken of in the webinar. Am I providing a safe and secure environment for my learner? At the same time, am I also able to cater to the diverse learning needs of the children in my classroom? Diversity, equity, inclusion becomes one of our unique programs that we are offering. And lastly, 21st century skills, which again is one of the most talked about trends in education. What are the 21st century skills that we are focusing on? How I as a teacher will be able to incorporate those in my teaching learning methodology, keeping in mind that we are today catering to the 21st century learner. All of these 9 courses, certificate courses, are certified by SNDT University.
Shweta, I want to point out here, I think a lot of responses which we got, they are directly correlated with the certificate courses which you have listed here. So that is really beneficial for the participants.
Absolutely. I was very happy to see the participants engaging and putting forth their thoughts. So two things that came out very strongly is the mode of learning. All of them preferred and of course spoke of a blended learning model. Some also spoke of a completely online model that they would prefer. Some spoke of a hands-on learning experience that is available. All of this, as we progress through the different initiatives that we have taken, is available as an opportunity for our audience to take up. Second thing that they spoke of is comprehensive learning.
Yeah.
Aanchal spoke about it as well, and ensuring our learning covers all the domains of development, ensuring that the learning is holistic. And up to grade 2 is what, when we say NEP aligned, the teachers will be equipped in teaching the same.
It looks like it's like a complete package, and I'm sure it will help the participants to pick and choose whatever they would want to go ahead with.
Absolutely. Our second initiative, again, coming back to our question, blended learning. Will I have opportunities to be able to be in the classroom, as well as have opportunities to learn some modules online? Hubble Ascent is exactly one of those opportunities that we have, in association with VIBGYOR Group of Schools, have initiated. So Hubble Ascent is a program meant for practical exposure. It offers an opportunity for aspiring educators to gain practical experiences while they work in any one of the VIBGYOR Group of Schools, and simultaneously consume or learn the courses that are affiliated by the SNDT University. So SNDT University certified courses, along with on-the-job training, is our Hubble Ascent program. So a perfect example of a blended model. You learn at your convenience online, as well as apply that learning in the classrooms, learn with experienced teachers, in the guidance of experienced teachers, and be able to practice your teaching skills as well. So Hubble Ascent, focusing on hands-on and experiential learning for the learners, is an opportunity where a certificate course is provided, certification by SNDT, with a blended learning model.
It's a perfect example of what you learn is what you can practice in the classroom.
It's on-the-job learning.
Yeah, on the job. Perfect.
It's on-the-job learning. And you can always go back to seeing every classroom experience will teach the learner something. Our session is exactly like what our session name is, Teacher Once, Learner Forever. Everything that they will learn in the classroom, they can go back and reflect, read, go back to the digital modules, relearn, look at the application, and have an opportunity again to go back to the classroom and implement it. So that's a perfect opportunity and for them to practice their skills. Our third initiative is, again, teacher training in association with Indian Women Scientists Association. So our collaboration with IWSA, Indian Women Scientists Association, it's a collaboration that enhances, again, early childhood education competencies through specialized certification courses. These programs will foster specific learning environments and specific need-based certificate modules that the learners wish to intend to avail of. Educational assessment and evaluation, safety, security, and 21st century skills. One of the key takeaways from our earlier session was of CPD being continuous professional development. A minimum requirement that NEP states is of 50 hours of learning. Modules such as this will also help the learners get an opportunity to pick and choose modules that are relevant for the learner, look at modules that are in line with the current trends, and they will help them bridge the existing gap in terms of learning. So they can pick up modules, add it to their existing level, add it to their existing certification, and get a continuous professional development. With IWSA, this is a need-based training module of a competency-based continuous professional module in association with IWSA. Lastly, International Institute of Teacher Education Development, IITED. Our fourth partner, IITED, is where we are associating for an advanced level of foundational education certifications. IITED offers programs designed to empower pre-primary and early childhood education teachers with both, again, the academic skills, the knowledge, and the abilities to be able to implement the necessary NCF goals, foundational literacy, foundational numeracy goals. So with IITED, there are two programs. There is an advanced certification in foundational education, as well as a diploma in foundational education. Flexible, different durations for the learner to be able to take up. Again, online, making it easy for the learners to enroll at a time convenient and complete the modules at a time convenient. With these teacher development initiatives and our partnerships with different organizations, with well-known universities like SNDT Women's University and other organizations where opportunities are provided, IITED also is rolling out and launching the Global Teachers Olympiad. We have heard of Students Olympiad very often, where students are assessed and appraised, are recognized for their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Olympiads for students with specific subjects, maths, science, so on and so forth, is very common. Global Teachers Olympiad is with the vision of recognizing these outstanding teachers. And this is the time to recognize their effort and as well as acknowledge them and certify them for their skills and abilities. A one of its kind opportunity, the Global Teachers Olympiad, it's to benchmark excellent teaching practices. It hosted by IITED, it is an innovative initiative aimed at assessing the competency of educators worldwide. This GTO, the Global Teachers Olympiad, is open for all. So not only for foundational level teachers, however, teachers from across all the levels can participate, and they will be assessed on simple three skills: communication skills, digital literacy, and their emotional and professional aptitude. All of this is it's a national level test aimed to recognize and award the best teacher. Let me go back to the chats. I think we have
got a couple of questions.
Yes.
Has answered. So they're asking, is it online and duration? So
yes,
should we take the question?
Absolutely. It is an online examination. We are discussing about GTO and the Global Teachers Olympiad. I realize and I sense that there is a lot of curiosity regarding the same. If anybody has any more questions regarding the GTO, the floor is open to you.
So one question which I think the audience might be thinking about is the duration of the program. So how would that be? Would it be customized, or would it be a standard duration of the course, or the person can leave it and rejoin again? How it's going to be, if you can throw some light on that.
So there are two aspects. So you are of course talking about teacher certification programs. Am I right, Prachi?
Yes, and this one as well, Global Teachers Olympiad. So this is actually a test. So IITED.
Yes. So Lakshmi has posed a question of how to apply. What is the syllabus of the exam? Lakshmi, there is the syllabus of the exam, like you mentioned. Broadly, what you see on your screen is assessing the teachers on their communication skills, digital literacy, as well as basic competencies, emotional and professional competencies, general aptitude that is going to be tested upon. There is online registration. It's open for registration, and the spots are fast filling. We will get in touch with you and share all the details with regards to the registration and how do you go about it, what is the syllabus regarding the same, and the date of the examination soon, shortly after the webinar. Answer your question, Prachi, about the teacher training modules. There is flexibility and flexibility to learn, complete the modules at their own pace. And hence you can start and you can begin the modules. The learning journey is very, it's simple and it will lead you organically to the next learning path. Modules are completed, assessment is taken, certification is provided. And these teacher training certifications is a combination of both the, the reading material as well as audio-visual as teacher-led training modules to make it easier for the learner to grasp the concept.
Sounds comprehensive. Thank you so much.
Lakshmi, the link is there online, the registration link and more about the GTO for your quick access. For others as well, you will soon hear about details about GTO soon after the webinar.
Another question, that's Lakshmi.
Yes. Perfect, Lakshmi. Thanks for showing an interest. We will share the details about our certification program in association with SNDT University as well. It is one very unique opportunity. We are the first to have partnered with SNDT Women's University. SNDT is known for women empowerment. SNDT is known for courses across various domains of education. We have partnered with them and are an association of curating programs that are certified by their academic council as well. Any more questions regarding GTO before we move on? To summarize it all, when we talk about continuous professional development and teacher development opportunities, all this is with only keeping one thing in mind. We are driving impact. We want to empower teachers so that we have brighter futures for the students in our care. We have to invest in building teacher competencies, in fostering a partnership and building a robust foundation for our teacher development community. Investing in a teacher equals to investing in a child, and investing in a child, eventually we invest in our growth as a country. Hence, teacher education or continuous professional development must not just be looked at as one end goal or the final destination. It's like a journey that all of us have to undertake. Each day provides us with a unique opportunity to learn, to interact with children, to become a better version of ourselves personally, to become a better version of ourselves professionally. And all of this is and must be driven with a mindset of growth, with a mindset of having passion, with a mindset of making learning and making our classroom successful for our children. With this parting thought, I would leave you, and I would encourage you rather to pursue teacher professional development, continuous professional development. Keep that urge of learning
burning.
Keep that on. Yeah, keep that on. Keep that urge of learning on, and at every opportunity that you receive of learning, lap it up.
So that was great and very thoughtful, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in what you spoke about. so many courses which we are offering and going to offer. So I think we've had a very meaningful and very interesting session today. Thank you so much, Ms. Aanchal. Thank you so much, Ms. Shweta. Audience, you will very soon hear from our team, either in your inboxes or through our social media posts. And whoever has the query can drop us an inquiry or a query, or the links would be given to you by the team, and you can go ahead and register for the courses. We'll be open very soon, and the details will be in your inboxes. Thank you, everyone. And we've had a lovely audience here. Thank you so much. Let's wind up the session today then.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your participation. Looking forward to hearing from you, and looking forward to a longer association with all of you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.